Alright, so here we are, Himmelsdorf it is, and yes, when it comes to the opposition, well, basically we do have the Immortals starting down south as the yellow team, whereas their opponents, Anubis Empire, starting up north as the blue side.
Yeah, and looking at the tank lineup, they're pretty similar except only one tank is different. On the Immortals side, they do have a KV5, whereas Anubis Empire did go for an IS-3, so only one tank going to differentiate these two teams, and it's going to be extremely interesting to how these guys actually
gonna duke it out.
How the firefight's gonna turn out.
Indeed, and yeah, like we had said, like for before the match even started, like we were expecting this kind of lineup from the very get-go. Having seen these teams perform for the past like 3 or 4 weeks, definitely not a big surprise to see that. Of course, a strong monopoly here down south coming from the Immortals, pretty much. So one AMX-50 is making the climb, whereas the others are pretty much like spread out towards the southern end of that central park area, of course, blocking every single road. And yeah, they did send like one of their scouts to the northwest point of the central park area, just in case there's a push like to the West Railroad.
Yeah,
so,
and that's actually a quite popular push that's been utilized quite recently.
Indeed, so yeah, it's actually nice to see that T1 over there. I mean, even if he gets like taken down, but he will spot any possible push to the railroad from his position. So a very safe and very conventional defensive setup coming from the Immortals. I'd love to get eyes on Anubis Empire. Our observer right now is not following them at the moment.
Yeah, I really like this lineup coming out from the
Immortals.
From the Immortals early on. They're really spread out. They have control of at least the entire bottom portion of the map. If you divide the map in half, the entire southern side is in control of the Immortals. And Anubis Empire, we don't have vision on them just yet, but I'm expecting a similar defensive lineup coming from their team as well.
Well, I think 2 scouts have spotted each on the hilltop. It'd be great if our camera could switch over there. There we go. So we've got the Sirius on the Immortals and GRJM. I'm just going to call him Grim. Yeah. We agreed. So Grim like peeking up towards the northern end of the hilltop, but decided to retreat because I think he spotted Kitan climbing with his AMX 5100.
Maybe. Actually, I don't think he did because Kitan was under the slope.
Right, so yeah, maybe he was out of sight still, but Kitan like deciding to retreat, as a matter of fact. You just saw him like make the climb back down. And now taking a look at the Anubis lineup, and yeah, I'm not too surprised to see more of a concentration towards the western front. Yeah,
so it's not as spread out as the Immortals, but definitely they are a little bit spread out. I mean, they have, it's probably an AMX-50 up there in the northwestern corner of the map, and the rest of their tanks, 3 of them right on the western edge, and then 1 tank smack in the middle of their kind of starting area. So
it's kind of interesting to see that like the only tanks that are to the eastern front are both T1s. As a matter of fact, the scouts are the only ones like protecting the eastern side of the park area.
Oh, and we could see a push coming up from the Immortals.
I'm not so sure though. Yeah, they're regrouping towards the southern end, southeastern end of the central park area.
Look how deep PNL is into enemy territory.
He is. He's gonna take out that T1, so that's job well done. And right now, of course, the Immortals have no way of knowing that the eastern front is completely deserted. They can't know that, but they always still have to watch out for a West Railroad push as well. So you know that T1's gonna have to Heinz Lindemann with his T1's gonna have to do a great job covering up for that. And there you go, spotted Gunner. Gunner just takes him out. Like Hans Lindemann goes down, but now Anubis Empire. I mean the Immortals know that Anubis have a stronger presence to the western front, which is what they had suspected from the very get-go. So to be honest with you, even if they were to push straight down the middle of that park area,
they'd be safe.
They'd be safe at the moment. At present, they would be safe there.
They can even make it into the city as well, just because the positioning. Maybe they might run into 1 tank of Anubis, but the rest of the forces on Anubis are more clustered towards the western side.
That is
definitely. I would recommend the eastern side of the field instead of just straight down the middle of the field, just due to the fact that there's just a little bit more cover there.
That is true, but at the same time, like, you know, the last time we saw do that was actually, I think it was not efficiency, but maybe Avant-Garde, if I'm not mistaken. And they were completely countered by, you know, that counter push to the West Railroad. And I'm thinking that the Immortals, that's about the only thing they're worried about right now. They're not fully committing like to the eastern side of the park area, like you said, because obviously they could. they definitely could, but they would leave their western flank completely vulnerable. So I'm sure they're not willing to risk that from the get-go. Actually, I think from what we're looking at, they're probably gonna make another hill climb.
Quite possibly. I mean, these aim activities have moved over here to the eastern side of the map, but I doubt they're actually going to go up there. They're just maybe...
They're too vulnerable, like, by themselves. I would reckon. Yeah, indeed. So maybe one of them, but even that would be taking quite a bit of a risk. Like, once again, we don't have eyes on Anubis Empire just yet, so we really... It's just like you guys, pretty much. We really don't know where they are at this point. I'd love to get a peek as to their movement towards the northwestern railroad.
I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't moved, though.
From the train station, honestly, you mean, to the northwest?
Yeah. Honestly, they probably have not moved yet because the Immortals haven't pushed. They didn't push in deeper when actually it was PNL. Yeah, when when PNL went up there to the northern side of the map. Yeah,
that was Khitan. It was Khitan.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but you can see actually they did spread out just a little bit more.
Right, yeah, they're still like having a stronger presence to the western front, but they can smell that their enemies like are more concentrated to the southeast pretty much. I mean, it's like, you know, they can't know for sure, but it's just intuition. That really, because usually you send your scouts where your heavy forces are not there pretty much. So yeah, they can get a pretty good assessment as to where the enemy tanks are, generally speaking. So we've got a northwest southeast separation right now. That's where the stalemate is being created. Now, definitely not a whole lot of movement. If this keeps going on without any engagement, I'm assuming both teams will get a warning for this.
Yeah, no, I mean, most definitely. I mean, there has been no movement for about a couple minutes now. I mean, we saw a little bit of repositioning coming up from Anubis. They have moved a couple of their tanks more toward the eastern side of the map. However, ever since then, I mean, they've just been in the same exact position. I mean, just maybe small investments here and there, but nothing to even come close to a possible engagement so far. I mean, I really want to see. I was expecting a little bit more from both these teams. I know that they both most likely respect each other, and that's why they're not just being foolishly aggressive and just running in their guns blazing. So I mean, I respect, you know, and I understand why they're just, you know, playing extremely passive right now. But at the same time, you know, we keep saying this, you know, especially when we talk about teams like Friends or, you know, Night Eagles or a lot of the top, the upper class teams, they really like to take these sets into their control when they realize that the enemy team is not going to actually make any moves of their own. Then that's the
they
time
spread out. Yeah,
try,
they spread out and then get more map control. I totally agree with you, because right now, like, neither of these teams is allowing just the other an opportunity to even just engage right now. It's just they're both refusing combat. Once again, they just simply refuse to be at a disadvantage in the first engagement. And at this level, I can understand like why they don't want to take the risk, but at the same time, they can't just keep on doing what they're doing right now. I mean, obviously not.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean, look at that. Still very, very little move. The only tank that actually moved on Anubis' side is the M50. Yeah, that's
yeah, it was just like sort of he's creeping down south just to be but okay, now we've got a concentrated that's on the observer, folks, so you guys can't see it, but when it comes to the Immortals, there are like regrouping towards the park area. I think they're going to go for an eastern push possibly, with a minute and 40 to go, but yeah, they're pushing now. They're definitely pushing.
Oh yeah, they're going
2 straights down the middle and possibly like a west-east separation, or maybe the last 3 tanks, including the 50s 100s, are just gonna go straight the middle as well as support tanks. Let's see what happens. I'm not really sure that anything major can come out of the minute and a half that's left in the set, though.
I mean,
if they go straight, they're gonna get punished.
Yeah, I mean, if one tank goes down, then definitely we will have a win for set 1, and they have spotted right there Gunner.
Yeah, Gunner.
He's gonna meet some trouble here.
Well, you know, help is gonna be very quick to come.
Yep.
So right now, their best hope is to take out Gunner without like suffering any losses. They got plenty of time to do that, but they're actually being surrounded as we speak. PNL is in a lot of trouble here. PNL is in a world of trouble. They gotta take out Gunner, otherwise, really, it's just gonna be ugly. This is gonna be ugly. They gotta take out Gunner without sacrificing PNL. PNL goes down. PNL goes down, and
they do trade for Calatina, and Gunner goes down.
And Gunner goes down as well. So that's yeah. But look at that, Iron Boss taking plenty of punishment here as well. He's got to get out of dodge. Kitan doing some damage. Yes, Iron Boss survives for now. So Unreal Rogue with his KV5 just here, standing strong and tanking. That might be enough for the Immortals actually.
Yeah, there's about 30 seconds left remaining right now. There's an 8-tier point
Vigor
difference.
Knight, yeah, Vigor Knight trying to get a shot at Iron Buzz here, but like, yeah, they're really doing a good job, like covering up for his weaker teammate. Iron Buzz, one more shot's gonna do him.
Oh,
one more shot would do it. One more shot would do it. Just and Vigor Knight, he only needs that one more shot on Iron Buzz. That's it. With 17 seconds to go,
15.
Savage is almost gone. Iron Buzz goes down, but like Savage is really low as well. Savage is gonna watch out. Vigor Knight really low as well. Who's gonna go down first?
Oh, Savage might go down here. They gotta get
but like
Vigor
soon as
Knight.
Vigor Knight is he gonna go down or not?
3
seconds, like 2 seconds.
left.
Oh no!
no!
That is an Anubis win. Amazing.